heartbreak, drama, and an endlessly twisting storyline, Fleetwood Mac's saga feels less like rock history and more like an epic soap opera. But here's a moment that truly shook their devoted fans. On this very day, September 12th, 1990, Christine McVie and Stevie Nicks announced they were leaving Fleetwood Mac, adding another perplexing chapter to the band's already turbulent narrative. Following the comings and goings of Fleetwood Mac can be as exhausting as keeping track of a tumultuous high school romance. The band's never-ending cycle of breakups and makeups left many onlookers torn between rooting for them to get back together or hoping for a final split. Over the years, with departures, reunions, solo explorations, and reconciliations, Fleetwood Mac's status was always in flux. So much so that by the time Christine McVie passed away in 2022, touring had long since become a thing of the past for the group. But let's wind the clock back to 1990, a year when Mac's story became even trickier to follow. On that fateful September day, Christine McVie and Stevie Nicks both declared their exits. The twist? This didn't come out of nowhere. Throughout the early 1980s, each band member had ventured out to pursue solo interests, juggling personal projects while still being part of the Mac machine. Many fans view 1982, when the group pulled back from the limelight, as their first major hiatus. And this is the part most people miss. The break didn't last forever. The band roared back with the release of Tango in the Night in 1987. However, without core member Lindsey Buckingham, they were already a different-sounding group. McVie and Nicks stayed on during this era, but by 1990, both decided it was time for another pause. The band entered a second spell of inactivity, intensifying the ongoing confusion about who was actually in Fleetwood Mac at any given time. But why did two of Fleetwood Mac's defining voices walk away? It's a question that continues to spark debate among fans. Fleetwood Mac's legend is riddled with stories of personal turmoil, romantic entanglements, and substance abuse. All these tangled threads are often blamed for the group's infamous instability. The specific reasons for McVie and Nicks' departure are equally complex. McVie, it's widely reported, wanted to step back and focus on other creative passions, as well as enjoy a quieter life. Meanwhile, Stevie Nicks had similar aspirations, but was also locked in a contentious dispute with Mick Fleetwood over the ownership of her song, Silver Springs. Was it purely artistic differences, personal issues, or a combination of both? Boldly, this is where opinions differ, and where the fan debates catch fire. Some argue that relentless creative friction fueled the group's magic. Others insist the legendary dysfunction ultimately led to the band's undoing. What do you believe? Did artistic tension make them better or just break them apart? Like any classic on-again, off-again relationship, Fleetwood Mac didn't stay apart for long. By 1997, both McVie and Nicks were back in the fold, joining forces for the triumphant live album and reunion tour, The Dance. Yet the carousel spun on. Not long after, McVie retired from touring to focus on her well-being, leaving the band's future as uncertain as ever. The saga of Fleetwood Mac is a masterclass in complicated relationships and unresolved tensions. But September 12, 1990, stands out as a milestone, a moment when the group's internal struggles boiled over in public view. And here's a question to chew on. Was their tumultuous history the secret sauce behind their legendary music, or simply a tragic pattern that cost the world even more incredible collaborations? Let us know. Do you agree with their decisions, or do you think they should have gutted it out for the sake of the music?